You know, when it says low battery and you can't see where it is, it gets a bit scary.
Oh, right. Break. Do you know what? I'm bloody lost. Oh, proven. What was that, Benny?
I was here.
There is one more little update in that, Ben. We bought another car.
Yeah.
Right guys, welcome back to BD Uncut, as we've called this little series. Now, I hope you enjoyed the first video. We're going to do this a few more times and see. It's going to have to develop as it goes along. But anyway, for those of you who didn't watch Ricky's video from Living Life Fast, where were you? But Kerry's car is still here. It's ready for a new turbo. We've got Nick's car in the background. Hopefully Ricky's going to come back and he's going to video that at some point. Not telling you guys when, because of COVID we don't want loads of people turning up here. But anyway, that's that bit of an update out of the way. The white Focus RS is here for a replacement engine a forged engine build alongside the 60 plate facelift Focus ST. We've got Josh's car here that's just landed with us this morning. Both Lee and I have been to collect that. It's formerly Jamie Arnold's car. It was a track car. He decided to move on from it when he had another little child. So what else have we got here? This is going to be an interesting one, to be fair. Josh has started cutting out the bonnet vents, but unfortunately the WRC vents that turned up were actually cracked or damaged or something in some way, shape or form anyway. As you can see, there's a bit of overspray on it from the yellow roll cage that he's done inside. Don't panic, guys. I know that's going to activate a few people's kind of spidey senses on this one, but yeah, he's actually doing a full restoration on the outside. He's bought this kit off, I think, Gareth Bloodworth, so he's getting it all done and sorted. And obviously, if you've seen in some of the images, you'll see that the wheels actually stick out the arches, so that's going to have to be addressed. Ben's shitbox. What was this series again that we were doing? Staff sheds. That's it. So staff shed number 1. You can see here that radiator was definitely leaking, so it's a good job we changed that. I think Ben was doing or has done the timing belt on it, and it looks like he's done water pump, I'm gonna guess, there as well, so that's coming along nicely. The purple helmet is, yeah, it's exactly where it was before, just the cover's been lifted slightly, so yeah, that's the end of that. We'll go over and have a chat with Ben and see what he thinks of life on a Monday morning. What have you been doing on the weekend, Ben? Well, I know what you've been doing, you tell them.
Walking and droning.
Yeah, you drone on or what?
I know I do, yeah.
No, Ben's been using the new drone that we bought, and I think Ben enjoys it more than anything else. I think you found a newfound passion, haven't you?
Yeah, it was mega. I couldn't put it down. You just need more batteries.
Yeah, I know. Well, more batteries?
Yeah.
You can't possibly need more batteries. That would like 2 batteries. You must get bored after that. No. You want more?
Need a battery that lasts a bit longer, because
25 minutes it should last in here. Did it not do 25 minutes? Bennett, it should do 25 minutes, shouldn't it?
It should do 25 minutes, depending.
Yeah, it does.
On the like, yeah.
Wind, all that.
Oh yeah, it does, yeah. But you know, when it says low battery and you can't see where it is, it gets a bit scary.
Oh right. Helmet.
No, it's great.
Right, so what are we doing here? This is double block mod of the day, isn't it?
Block mod number 2. Block
Yeah.
mod number 1.
So Al's got a block mod.
Yeah.
And has he got the one where he's just got a straight up block mod with water pump? You've got block mod, skim,
Head skim and oil change.
And that one's got an RTX alternator on, I notice.
We'll book him back in then.
Hey?
We'll book him back in.
We'll book him back in. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, definitely go with a genuine alternator rather than one of those RTX ones that don't generally last very long. So he's also having to take away with him a downpipe, decat and a mill cheater as well, isn't he? So this one we're hoping to do in a day and get tested if we can. That's why Ben's doing it. Al's had a good head start on that other one because he landed earlier and got going first. So Yeah, so it's double block mod day today, and then we've got a few other bits to do, which is go to Keynes to try and reprogram a key. We've got the alignment to do on the ASBO thing of Josh's tomorrow, so that we can try and start setting it up. Hopefully we'll try and film a bit of that to go in whatever series we decide. But we'll have a look at Al now. Al's got the... Bye, Ben.
Bye.
So Al's got the cylinder head off. Everyone loves this, seems to love this Zimmer frame setup that we've got going, but it's just got 2 rubber pads there, and it just works well. It works right. You can store the shims on the one side, so it's all sorted. But as you can see with this one, it definitely hasn't been serviced that regularly because, yeah, it's quite grimy inside that one. And there's loads of carbon built up on the top of the cylinder header itself, so it definitely hasn't been regularly serviced, this one. It's not as bad as we do see, but remember that this carbon stuff turns to like a paste when you leave it too long, and the more you leave it, the more it builds up and the more damage that can actually do. But as you can see, Al's got this cylinder head off now. He's starting to clean it up and starting to reinstall the water pump, is it, Al? So yeah, Al's reinstalling the water pump. So that's a genuine water pump, genuine bit. Al's got the scuttle off, so nobody can be activated by the scuttle panel storage on this one, because Al's got a snap-on. So this has got, the first thing that I can notice about this one is it's got a version 1 oil filter housing on it. So yeah, I don't know whether that's been changed at any point before it's got here. It is leaking a little bit, so we'll have to let the customer know.
Style pipe on it as well.
Yeah, it's got what, the old style breather pipe to the rocker. Right, okay, so has it actually broken, has it? Right, so he's going to need a new breather pipe anyway, because they're like a 𝙬𝙘𝙪𝙗𝙪 type plastic thing instead of the new ones that are rubber. So yeah, we'll get this one done and hopefully on test a little bit later on. I'll showing you there. If you can see here at the concertina, that's where it's broken, and obviously that side wasn't particularly that good anyway. So yeah, the new ones are rubber. These ones are like a 𝙬𝙘𝙪𝙗𝙪 kind of plastic thing, which is strange that they use them. So yeah, this is pretty much what we've got going on today in the workshop. In the background, there's some other bits in here that are waiting to be done, but there's plenty going on. Not going to film too much of these, but this is Monday morning at BD Performance, and we'll hopefully come back to you on Tuesday. So it's Tuesday now, it's late on in the afternoon, 3:30. It's the first chance we've had to film properly, mainly because we've been out testing in Josh's car. If you haven't already checked that video out, then check it out. It'll be somewhere in the description or whatever. This car came in yesterday. It's relatively stock. It's under 45,000 miles. Al was doing a block mod and water pump on it, but it turned out that it had a massive issue with the cam followers and wear on the cams themselves. So we decided the best course of action was actually to replace the cylinder head rather than investigating it further. So we did that with a refurbished unit of sorts. In the background there you'll see Josh's car. I'm not going to bang on too much about that because we've already videoed that today. Ben's actually, I don't know, what have you done this morning, Ben? Packed parcels, loads of them. Oh yeah, you were sorting out Josh's car. So we've got the black car here that you're taking the engine out of, dropping the engine out of, I think, Ben?
Engine out, yeah.
Yeah, so this is basically a 𝙬𝙬𝙪 83.5, isn't it?
𝙬𝙬𝙪, yeah, oversized, potentially, maybe cracked block, don't know yet. Sounds like it runs like it's got a cracked liner or real bad compression.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, or real bad compression. All this oil out the filter housing might suggest we're looking at a mega compression issue, but either way, it's got problems.
Hopefully it's a compression issue. Right, this car here. Now this is an oddball. I'm sure Al is mega pleased with it.
No.
Anyway, come round early. This is head number 1, is it? Al, the original head off it? Or are we on head number 2? So, okay. 5 snapped. Right, so this car came in for what the customer thought was, or required, a replacement turbo. So they had ordered it in advance and we got a refurbished unit into stock. When I drove it in this morning, I thought, oh, hang on a minute, that sounds like a leaky manifold gasket. So I phoned the customer because this thing is on, turns up to us running on LPG. Now, we didn't know that. Otherwise, in honesty, I probably wouldn't have taken on this job in the way that I did. So I said to him, listen, sounds like a leaky manifold gasket. Do you want to just try and tighten the manifold up instead? No, snap studs. From there, it got ridiculous. So we've ended up taking the cylinder head off. We've had to, Al said there's 5 snap bolts in it. So that's out of what, 10?
No, there was 3 actual snap studs. And then there was 2 snapped in the head, which have to be welded out.
So yeah, wow, 5. I put down for 5. What a guess, Al.
Yeah.
What a guess. So are they being helicoiled or are they just, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7 helicoils.
So 7 helicoils. So I put down for 5 helicoils. I'll probably just call it a day at that. It's enough money for someone to spend. The customer actually thought that this car had a block mod. It didn't. So kind of like a bit sweet to this one, in as much as he's gained a block mod from it that he thought he had already, and he hasn't just had to take the cylinder head off just to do these snap studs. But yeah, ultimately, that's the update for Tuesday. It's now Tuesday afternoon. We're going to continue what we're doing. I think Ben and Bennett are going out in the car in a minute to finish off what didn't get finished off yesterday. Actually, I'll just give you a little mini update. Right, so yesterday didn't go to plan. Kane broke down. Well, not broke down, but I needed to go out to him with a battery. Went out to him, changed his key fob battery, that didn't work. Decided it was the battery that he'd replaced elsewhere for the wrong size one. Anyway, ergo, Ben and Bennett go out in the blue car and flipping hell, nothing but hell. Clip brakes on the clutch system, so went out with some tools to get them sorted, came back in, went back out to him, came back in. Anyway, eventually finished up going to Kane's to change his blinking battery at like 6 o'clock last night. Anyway, that was a long story for nothing really. We'll join you tomorrow. Okay, it's Wednesday. Again, it's late in the afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock. I thought I'd give you a quick update on what's been happening today. Lee's been editing another video. You need to watch out for that one. If we've released it before, we'll put a link in the description and a link above. Becky's bought a car in. She's had new discs and pads on the front. And she's had the calipers done in a VHT blue paint. So we've actually removed the calipers and sprayed these. We've not removed them completely from the car. We've sprayed them in situ on the vehicle. But wow, does that paint actually match? It looks amazing. Nice to do something that isn't like the normal painted brushed stuff. It looks really cool. This Focus ST here is waiting to be collected by its owner. It's the one that we did the other day. He's not been able to collect it till now. Hopefully he's coming later on tonight, but that has had the block mod. It's only done about 45,000 miles. This car here is on test. It's looking a bit dirty, a bit sorry for itself at the minute. Probably needs a wash, but that's had a Forge engine in it, believe it or not. This is kind of, we don't wash these cars in between. This is how it actually came into us. If we go into the workshop, obviously we've got Kerry's car, Nick's car behind us and Al's. A couple of tyres in for a good customer, William Bishop, the guy who has the 720 and the Seat that we've featured before. Section 59 exhaust, those have been out of stock for a while, they're back. Got a cylinder head over there waiting to have some resurfacing, some new valve stem oil seals. Ready to go back to a trade customer. Al's still on with the LPG nightmare, just putting some oil in it now. It's had a replacement refurbished turbo, that's the word I was looking for. I knew the word turbo, I just couldn't work out the word refurbished. This one here, Ben was doing yesterday, but got distracted because Josh arrived to go out in his car after they tested it in Bennett the other day. And then in the corner here we've got, or at this side should I say, sorry, putting me back to you all the time, but this is a car that we rebuilt probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. Can't remember, is this a stock motor or is it Ford's, Ben? Anyway, it's had a rebuild a few years ago. It's in for service and maintenance. Probably could do with a few more bits, like a new coolant header tank, to be fair. Lastly, that's about it, really, I think. We've had a load of orders come in over last night. There was tons of orders, and we've been shipping them out for most of the day. If you haven't already, got yourself one of these Waldo t-shirts that I'm sporting, mainly because I ripped the other t-shirt because I'm slightly overweight. But anyway, we'll join you tomorrow for another update. Right, so I think it's Thursday. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it's Thursday. Anyway, we're waiting for a customer to land this morning who's having block mod, 𝙤𝙬𝙪𝙗 clutch, a replacement brake. Do you know what? I'm bloody lost. Replacement ABS module. I think he's having a valve block as well. So we're doing that. He's stuck in traffic at the minute, so Al's preparing in the background. Quick update today, because that's all we've got in, because Ben's going to concentrate on some of the engine work and carry on with Kerry's car. In the meantime, yesterday we had a number of things that have happened. One, the silver car with the LPG conversion. Al got that out the door. We tested it last night and the customer collected it. Two, Josh collected his car last night as well. So that's gone off to Saltney, I think, now for some paint work. Probably via a test drive for Josh because he was that excited. His missus actually drove it off. Three, we've taken the engine out of this 60 plate car behind us, the Focus. That's having 𝙗𝙘𝙀 and K1 forged build, hopefully 83.5. The vehicle that Ben's running in is still on test, the one that we featured, I think, yesterday. And then a bit of an update about last night. We were actually messing about. We were here until late on, just trying to sort some things out. I say messing about, not really messing about. We were just here late until about 6:30. One for all you guys that receive deliveries, just make sure that you check the deliveries when they arrive, especially if you're there and especially if the package is so expensive, because we actually shipped an engine to a customer and they didn't note down that it was damaged. About 7 or 8 days later, they informed us that this thing had damage to us, asked us why we'd shipped the engine on its side, which we don't. We almost never ship an engine on its side. We normally stand them vertical. Anyway, long story short, we've got the camera footage. Hopefully we've got the footage of it being delivered the other side because the customer's got CCTV. So we're now going to have to go to the courier company and try and do something about this. But long story short, this could cost this customer quite a lot of money. So make sure that at the time of delivery, you inspect, especially if it's an engine, inspect it properly and make sure there's no damage to anything. The other one is that on socials we saw that a guy that had visited us just recently, John, had an issue. It was after a block mod anyway. We were quite worried because there was a big leak. It was on Instagram. If we get a chance, we'll throw in an image of it. We were dealing with it while we were here. That's why we weren't commenting on socials, just in case anyone picks us up on that. We were dealing directly with the customer at 7:30 at night. Turns out that at some point during its life, someone's tampered or messed about with the power steering and it had actually come undone. Now that's the first for us that we've seen that. It wasn't anything to do with the block mod, obviously it was power steering fluid. Anyway, nut undone, coincides with things. Just to clarify, this can happen. Remember that if you go to, any tuner and something kind of unrelated happens, then unfortunately that's just life. We see it on so many occasions. Well, I've been to so-and-so and this has happened afterwards, and you know that it's completely unrelated, but you know that they're going to be involved in that. Most recently, I suppose, with Sparkplug Steve and all the controversy surrounding that, nothing to do with us, but just remember that until you find out the actual issue, you can't find out the cause. So don't shoot people before you know. So yeah, that's just a bit of an update. We've got plenty to get on with today. As I say, we've got that block mod RS clutch cup package. It's been a week for block mods and RS clutches as well. I think we've got a couple more to do. We've got one that's cancelled today, hence why we're doing the engines. Well, not cancelled, sorry, moved his booking. So we'll come back to you either later on today when we've got something more exciting to film, or we'll see you tomorrow. For once it's early in the morning, well, early-ish anyway, because Bennett doesn't get any of that. Well, he had a few drinks last night, I think. That's why he's late.
Does mean I'm late? The first one here.
Oh, proven. What was that, Bennett?
I was here. The first one here.
Anyway, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. I'm going to hold this like a microphone, like Madonna.
This is a microphone.
No, you mean it's not. It's actually a lav mic.
So it's a lav microphone.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. A microphone and a lav mic are two different things. They're not going to get that anyway. So, a little bit of an update on the Welsh hurricane. This went particularly well. Unbelievably, this massive turbo is fitted in place, and all we had to do was change a few bits of engine mounts. We've still got a few bits of modifications to do to Kerry's own heat shrink style cover over the lambda sensor there, so we're going to redo that, probably put some cool tube on it or something, just because it's really near to that housing, but the way that it was originally done, it just wasn't right. So we've got the Samco silicon hose on it for now, but we'll probably get a BDP one ordered up. Other than that, we're waiting for a fitting to arrive, I believe, or an adapter, and then we can actually get this thing running, get that turbo run up. The great thing about doing a turbo and not... Did he just sneeze during this update? Yeah. I can't believe you'd be so disrespectful. Last night, the comments about you were unreal.
They all love me.
They don't. They're taking sympathy upon you or something like that, Bennett. It's not. You know, do you know what? You cut these videos so well, the amount of bullying that's done is generally you. Someone actually put that you look scared. You look scared of me in one of the videos. I love that. If you want to see us in these videos answer some questions, then pose us some questions, whether it be for me, for Ben, for Al, for Lee, for, well, if anyone's got anything to ask Al, yeah, then send us through, you know, the questions and we'll try and get them done. There's not, because it's so early now, there's no customers arrived yet. The two that are booked in, or three that are booked in for today, are not here yet, so there's not really an update. This one here that you can see in the background, an orange one, I'm going to cover the reg because it's not fair. But this one here that is in the background turned up yesterday for Al for a block mod, LEK RS clutch, ABS module and a few other bits. And ended up coming, and as soon as we got out on the ramp, it had a ginormous oil leak that perplexed us all because it was coming from the oil filter housing. Now, typically, if that happens, then there's lots of different options. But this just had an oil filter housing fitted. It wasn't coming from the seals, it was coming from the lid. Anyway, after a few hours of investigation, I won't bore you, but we actually found, wait there a second, Bennett. Clip this on here. We actually found a torn diaphragm. Now ignore the one little slit because that's where we tore it, getting it out, but this big slit here, that was off a version 5 housing that had been supplied to this customer. Can I get that back up there? Yes. A version 5 oil filter housing that had been supplied to this customer, and he replaced it. Anyway, this took us ages to find. After that had been resolved, obviously, because he replaced the housing for a reason in the first place, so he replaced it for another duff one, which then highlighted a load of other problems that were with the car. So basically, probably 5.5 to 6 hours of chasing our tails with this car's going in and out, the customer driving it and stuff, and us getting absolutely buried in other faults to resolve before we carried on with the main body of the work, and we're now just in the process. Al took the head off last night. He loves pulling the head off it at night.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, again, that's for a different channel. If you want to follow him on his Instagram account, I think it's Alan Young STT25. Follow him on his Instagram account and you'll see his other channel. What was I even saying? Anyway, we're on with doing the block mod now. We'll do this 𝙤𝙘𝙪𝙗 clutch ABS module. This is well rolled over into the next day, so this wasn't how this was meant to go, but obviously we couldn't turn this customer away. We're going to have to somehow figure out what to do here. Lee's going to have give a helping hand again in the workshop to try and get us back somewhere near straight. Just a good job that Lee can help out with doing a lot of the initial bits, and that's just a good thing, really. So this week's kind of uncut might not be as well in time as we'd like once hoped it would be. We were hoping that this would be out on Sunday, but the way this is going, I don't think it's going to happen. But we'll come back to you a little bit later on. We've got a block mod and 𝙤𝙘𝙪𝙗 clutch to do with Al today. Another one that was booked in for him, and a cylinder head off for someone else, I think, or the other way around with Ben, for investigation. We might have to push that one. Plus we've got another job in, and we've got a car arriving today that we're purchasing to, well, I don't even know whether we're breaking it or whether we're going to sell it or whether we're going to do what to it, but we'll give you an update when the car arrives and go from there. But this is Friday morning, I forgot to tell you that. It's early in the morning, so there's nobody here, but we'll probably come back to you a little bit later on, and at some point we'll summarise the week.
It's like this.
Yeah, that makes you look all right, mate. You look like Madonna like that, if I look through Lee's glasses. Anyway, it's Saturday morning, we're here. What is it that Daniel says? It's Saturday morning, we're here in the yard, and unlike the others, we're serious. I think that's how he says it anyway. Anyway, this is a serious nightmare, isn't it, Ben, so far? So
it's not ideal, is it?
No, this car came in and yeah, it's had one of everything so far. Anyway, we eventually found out that this wiring loom had been rubbing on something previously, so that is exactly what was causing a lot of the faults, although the other faults with the oil filter housing, which I think I hacked to in one of the previous days' updates, that was an issue. We've finally solved this. It's had a block mod, it's had an 𝙤𝙘𝙪𝙗 clutch, we're doing an ABS module, and we're now swapping a wiring harness. We took this off one of our other cars late last night. Well, not our car. I say our car.
Thanks,
it's
Kerry.
part of our car. It's the track car, so it is sort of partially owned by us.
We were going to let you know, but
well, we have now, haven't we, in the video?
Yeah.
So we borrowed it from the track car, so that's all that done. So Lee's here, he's committed and he's serious, and yeah, we're going to get this on the vehicle. In the meantime, there's not much else going on this morning, really, is there? This is enough for one day, isn't it? Surely, an ABS module, a wiring loom. I think the gent's coming down and we're lending him our Mark III RS steering wheel. There is one more little update, isn't there, Ben? We bought another car.
yeah,
What are we going to do with it?
scrap it.
Yeah. That's a bit rough, isn't it, to the previous owner?
The car's a bit rough, yeah.
I'm sorry, you know who you are. Anyway, you knew we were going to make light of this. But yeah, it's not quite good enough to go back on the road. So if anyone's interested in some bits, we've got a 56 plate electric orange ST. I'm sure he'll cut away to this at some point and show you. If you're interested, it's got a Focus RS engine in it that's actually forged. It's probably done about 40,000 miles. Roughly, we know that it done some mileage when we put it in for the previous owner, and he's covered about 22,000 miles in it, so it's done about 35. So yeah, if anyone's interested in any electric orange bits, there's Group A kit on it, isn't there? What else is there? Some nice wheels and some decent tyres. But there's plenty of doors and wings and, well, not plenty too. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, at least you knew what I mean, man. Well, if you can't count the boot as a door, then there's 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're interested in any bits, then let us know, because we've got some bits for sale. Electric orange, pre-facelift, And as I say, that Focus RS forged motor, now RS used engines are fetching about 3,750 quid, up to about 4,000. This is a used motor with fairly known mileage on it, and it's actually a forged motor, so it's got to be worth, what, £4,000 of someone's money, realistically. So if you're interested in that, then get in touch, 4,000 quid, and you can come collect it. But for now, that's about it for this week's episode of BD UNCUT.
What's the matter?
Don't know. Just waiting for you to interject with something interesting. Finish off the video.
Well, I was just thinking, this Focus RS engine that someone can just come and pick up, are they taking it out themselves?
No, obviously.
Oh, right.
At some point when we sold that. Oh, yeah, we've got a gearbox, used ST turbo on it. A fairly newish RS clutch that's done about 20,000 miles. So it's not really new anymore.
Well.
Yeah, it's got a new alternator, so yeah, and a pair of decent drive shafts. I'm sure we had to put some new drive shaft in it at some point. Yeah, but if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that bell icon to stay notified. Leave a comment down below and a thumbs up on this content, because it helps us out and helps the channel grow. Hope you're enjoying this sort of stuff. It's easy for us to produce, I'm not going to lie. Well, it might be easy for us to produce. We'll have to see what Lee makes of it. It's the first long one he's going to try and edit. It's not the first long one he's ever seen, though, is it?
Well, it wasn't his, was it?
No.